Okay, so this is kind of like a continuation, a part 2 of the last message that I put together. And so I'm going to go ahead and label this as part 2. And this is like what I'm picking up is this piece is for a divine feminine. So the last one was more of a general overall collective message, and this one is for a divine feminine. Okay, so this divine feminine, I'm telling you that you are like conceiving a whole new life, a new way of living, a new way of being. And the way that you've had a huge level up, a come up. You've come into like your knowing and who you are, who you want to be in this lifetime. I think you've completed almost like a karmic cycle. I want to say like you've completed it. That's what I'm getting kind of. Now, why I'm picking up sort of the same energy that I was from the last message is that I think because of this come up, okay, this is, you're so attractive, all right? And it's like your presence, your aura, it's attractive. So you're attracting a lot of new people in your life, because I don't want to just, this isn't just romantic, okay? This isn't just a romantic type of message. Just the way you're being, you're living, your truth and all of that, it speaks volumes, okay, to the community that you're in. I do think that people look at you and they are like motivated by you and like your spirit and who you are. And maybe some people are wanting to get to know you. And I feel like you're welcoming in this new energy, like you're welcoming in this newness about you. And it's just this beautiful light aura. That's what I'm seeing, surrounded by this divine feminine. And this is completely all new energy. All right. So that's not the person that you were in the past. The person that you were in the past, it was almost like you were in a shell for a really long time. And maybe like in a hold for a really long time, because that was a karmic type of cycle. So you had a lot of karmic people in your life. You had a lot of karmic friendships. You may have had like a karmic partner. You may have had even karmic family members. Okay, you may have been born into a karmic family. So the feminine that I'm talking to, you've kind of broken free from this. And I'm not saying that you've lost contact from all these people. That is not necessarily what I'm saying. For some of you, maybe you have, and maybe you are better off for it. But I think for some of you, you've just realized how these people are going to be in your life, right? Or how they're going to be a place in your life, who does belong in your life, who doesn't belong in your life, how you want to represent yourself, how you do want to be a leader. Maybe you have decided that you want to go back to school. And because this whole new, like this new way of being, maybe it's completely transformed you as a person, and you're wanting a new career, and so you're going to go back to school. Maybe you've decided to leave a relationship that doesn't resonate with you anymore, doesn't sit well with you anymore. And I'm getting that if that's you, just know that it's going to be okay. It's within timing. It's all good. That's what I'm getting. I think for some of you, it's not even like I'm leaving toxicity behind. It's more like this just isn't for me, and I've grown out of this. And it's okay if you've grown out of situations, places, people, relationships. It is okay that you've grown out of this. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I feel like some people may look at you and be like, but that's like, she has a good thing already. And I think I've touched on this before. And it's like, it's okay to say, yes, that's a good thing. I'm not saying that it was toxic for me or any of those, that type of like negativity. Maybe it's not that, but maybe you've just outgrown it and it's no longer sitting well within you. Maybe you've outgrown it and you need to move on to a new space, right? So I think that's where you're at now. I think how this does correlate with the last message is that this is going to be very triggering to some people that watch you live in freedom. You guys, this is freedom. That's what I'm getting. I'm living freely. I don't care how old I am. I don't care where I'm at in life. I don't care what's going. This is what I want to do and how I want to be and who I am. And you're taking the steps to create the life of your dreams, or create the life that you feel like other things in the past that you had to heal from, kind of like change you from this life. Okay, so you were never able to move on, or you were never able to like push past this karmic energy. And I think for some of you, this could have been you let go of an addiction. Okay, and this is totally resonating with me. I'm gonna get kind of personal here for a minute. I'm not gonna get too deep into my story. I want to tell my story eventually, but right now I'm just gonna be like a short story. So for me personally, like, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys, like, I am in my early 40s. I had an addiction to alcohol. Alcohol was my, like, crutch. It was creating more havoc in my life. It was steering me away from things. It was suppressing my gifts. So when I did get sober, this has been a couple of years now, and when I did get sober, my gifts came into, like, I came into full alignment. My spiritual awakening hit really hard. All of my gifts kind of came to the surface, and I realized what I did have. The like seer abilities. I got closer with the divine. I felt like I have transformed, right? And I'm telling you guys that, like, my whole way of living, my whole way of being, it's completely different than it was in the past. And you can see it on the outside too. So it's like, obviously, like, it's an internal thing, right? Like the healing, but it's also, and people say, like, glow up, like you had a glow up, you had a level up. And it's like, yes, it was internal and external for me. And it was just finally being authentic, finally coming to the realization of who I really am, and embracing gifts that God has given me. And I was able to do this by getting sober. And then once I saw this, and once I saw who I actually was, I wanted to take the leap and then jump into the unknown. I felt pushed. I felt it was my calling. I felt that this was what I was being led to do, right? Like, certain things in my life needed to go. Certain people didn't belong. Certain people were not going to stand up and clap for me and say, I'm proud of you. And I had to be, I've had to come to this place of, like, just saying, that's okay. And you know what? I feel better now, knowing that I have just a couple of really close people that I can count on and rely on, and that understand me and are like my soul family, than I did when I had a bunch of people in my life that honestly didn't really stick up for me, didn't stand up for me, didn't stick through me through the sobriety journey, through the spiritual awakening journey. And that's okay. I think it just shows you that. So I just wanted to get that out there real quick of, like, where I've been, who I am, the journey that I have been on, because I am resonating with this message. And I think that what this is saying is, like, there's going to be people that in your life that are going to be triggered by this change, by this conception of a new life for you. Okay. And so I just want to put that out there. If this is you, like, know that that is completely normal, and people are going to, it's like you hold the mirror. Okay. And you do, when you're going through something like this, and you show others, like, it's like you are showing others how to live, right? Like, you're being an example of living in living your truth and speaking your truth. You're leading, you're being an example. And either people can either look at this and applaud it, or look at this and turn their back, or look at this and talk bad about it, or it's just, you may just irritate the light that you now hold may irritate some people. And you have to realize that this isn't you. This isn't your problem. This is their problem. Either they can heal, and they can do it. Like, everybody has the ability to shine, right? Like, there's plenty of space in this world to shine. Everybody has their own unique gifts. And that's the way I look at it. Like, everybody has their own unique gifts and everybody has their own unique circumstances. And I'm over here going, like, good for you. Even if we share the same, I'm still going to applaud you for, you know, for using your gifts, for doing what you're doing, for your success. That's only going to create more joyous type of energy, right, in your life and the life around and those that are around you. So I do think that for some of you, you are feeling maybe lonely or secluded because you have triggered others. Okay, some people aren't going to want to break off their addiction. Some people look at that and say, well, you think you're too good. Okay, and then some people look at that and are proud of you. It just depends on where that person is at in their journey, and you have to look at it and say, it's not really me. It's something that's within them. It's something within them that is holding them back, because you understand, because maybe you have been there when you were in your wounded state, before you were healed, before you decided to go on your curse breaking journey or your addiction breaking journey, your spiritual journey. Maybe you were also there when you would see other people maybe get sober, or you would see other people possibly look like they broke out of something that you knew they weren't happy in. How did you feel for them? Were you genuinely happy for them, or did envy and jealousy kind of creep in and then you start talking negatively about them? So that's the way you have to look at it. I do think that there are going to be some people in your life that are going to just drift away, and you can't chase them, right? You can't chase them. You can't, even if they're family members. And that's what's sad, is that, like, I can't chase somebody that isn't willing, like, to be in my life. I'm not going to chase them. I'm going to tell them that I love them and I support them. You know, but if they don't reciprocate the same way, you know, if they don't reciprocate those feelings, then it's okay, even as a light worker, to walk away. Okay, because you need to understand what boundaries are as well. All right, and you need to understand that you can't force somebody into healing. You can't force somebody in your life. You can't force somebody to change. It's just it has to be from the divine. Now, I'm getting something about a twin. Okay, I'm getting something about a twin, that because of the way that you are living, all right, the way that you're living, this masculine energy has been stuck, but because of the way that you're living, they're getting uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable for them. Like, what they're going through, it's a push to heal. It's a push to go through shadow work. I think you aren't specifically, the divine is. And this is just a divine orchestration, right? Like, this is a soul connection. So this is your twin, is actually, even though they've resisted it, it's like they've had an unbalanced ego and they're not aligned, okay, with the inner and outer world. They are not aligned. They don't want to sit with this. They don't want to sit with the healing. There is wounded inner child going on here with this person. There's a lot of past lessons that they need to sit with and get through, okay? And I think that they need to accept themselves. There's something about they're not accepting themselves. They aren't accepting their gifts. They're not accepting who they are or what their mission is or their calling is. They are not, at this moment, it's like, before, they weren't being very courageous, okay? They weren't. And like something about just not moving forward. They're stuck. They're in the standstill. It is, and since you have now been living in alignment, you are pushing this person to do this. And I think that maybe they kind of get it together, but it might be in a couple years is what I'm getting. Okay, so this twin may be further down the road in a couple, and I'm not saying that you're not going to be with somebody else. Okay, I'm not going to tell you guys that. Everybody's different, and of course we all have free will, because I do think, though, you do have a high level soulmate. And I think that there is a movement in this situation. There's movement right now, because I don't know if the twin's actually supposed to be with you in the physical. I think maybe you guys were together to push each other spiritually. Maybe you guys were together because you needed to be pushed on this journey. You needed to be pushed on this self-love journey, self-improvement journey to actually become who you are meant to be in this lifetime. That's what I'm getting. And they didn't really, they're behind you. Okay, that's what I'm getting. They're behind you. So they didn't, maybe they just came to realization of what this is, and there, it's going to be time. Like there's time there with this. And I'm not saying wait for this person, because I do not think that that is actually for who I'm speaking to specifically. It's like, don't wait. That's what I'm getting. Do not wait for this twin. Let them do them. Let them heal. If it's supposed to come together later on down the road, so be it. But right now, I don't know. I'm seeing something else about a high level soulmate coming through, a movement with a high level soulmate. And it has to do with you. This is a new vibrational alignment coming through. Okay. And this like unconditional love. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting a new vibrational alignment and unconditional love. And that's where you're headed right now. I feel like maybe, you took a different route recently of like who I am, who I'm going to be, what I'm going to focus on. And since you've done that, it's like, woo, and it's the right way though. It's like you're at peace. If you're at peace with this, you're aligning. You two are aligning. You are aligning with a high level soulmate. That's what I'm picking up. Okay. And you're done with the fear. That's what I'm getting. You finally are out of any kind of guilt and fear for moving on in your life. We're done with this. Hallelujah. There's no more fear with moving on. There's no more, I feel guilty with leaving my past life behind. And when I say past life, okay, I mean like situations that you should have left possibly a long time ago. Okay, like of course you still have responsibilities, right? Like we still have responsibilities that we're going to have to like stick with, right? Because our commitments and responsibilities that you do need to stick with. But all in all, it's like these little pieces. Maybe it's a career, maybe it's a relationship that you have felt like stuck for a while. And it's like, finally, I'm past the fear of moving on from this. And I'm past feeling guilty. This no longer assists in my soul growth. I'm letting it go, period. So, when you do this, I'm telling you, because you're doing this right now, people are envious of you. People are going to judge you. People are envious. And that's why this kind of goes hand in hand with the last message, and it doesn't matter. You're not living your life for other people. That's what's happening right now. You're not living your life, and don't let these people keep you stuck in that fear or that guilt. Okay, so my battery did die in that last message, but I think I was coming to the end of it. And I just want to say that, towards the end, we were talking about like the guilt and the fear and letting go of that completely to bring in this new abundance type energy. So no matter what anybody else is saying about you or feeling about you or how people perceive you, it is letting go of this, and so that you can live your life to the fullest. All right, I think that is what Spirit is calling you to do, and that is what's going to help you break through from any kind of standstill, stuck energy. Okay, so I hope that this resonated. If it did, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.